Well, the Fummins pulled home a boat. It's a 1987 Bayliner Capri 1950. Inboard, outboard with a Mercruiser 3.0 and then OMC Cobra drive. I believe OMC's out of business, so that might be interesting to find parts for. It's got the old 80s yellowed plastic. Other than that, the hull's in really good shape. Needs new upholstery, like every boat from the 80s. And I'm gonna be doing some projects on it because I can't wait to get out of the water and do some tubing. My first projects are gonna be based around this motor. It's a 3-cylinder or 4-cylinder, 3-liter Mercruiser, and he's got a carburetor, and I hate carburetors with like every fiber of my being. So I'm going to be putting a Holley Sniper, Super Sniper EFI on this thing. It also has a points ignition, which I find less than ideal. So I'm going to be putting a modern GM HEI ignition on it. And I'm also going to be putting some new spark plugs in it and doing a compression check. But up first is going to be this ignition, purely because the parts got here first. So let's get started. Right off the bat, all the spark plugs look pretty healthy, so that's a good sign. And it did run. I think it does run. Sounds really good. I think the carburetor's got some issues because it doesn't like to idle. But I expect the compression check to actually turn out pretty good. So that's up next. Compression on cylinder 1 looks like it's right at 116, 117. Yay. Cylinder 2 is not great. I think that's about 68 psi. Yikes. And cylinder 3 also down there in the 64-ish range. I don't think I have a great quality engine here. And cylinder 4 up around 110 psi. So 1 and 4 seem healthy, and 2 and 3 not so much. Makes me wonder if this engine's had water in it, because it would, I don't know. That's odd. Alright, here's the new ignition. This distributor comes with the wiring. New coil, new spark plug wires, and I got new spark plugs to go with it as well. Don't know how much difference it's going to make with the compression issues, but yeah, we're going to do some more diagnostic on that too. All right, my next step, I guess, is going to be physically removing this coil and distributor and getting ready for the new ones. So here goes. And there's those cursed points. These actually look pretty new. The rotor's got a little wear on it, not a ton. And it's pointing right at that spark plug hole, so that should give me an alignment for when I put the new one in. Now, I gotta go get some wrenches. Alright, the new one popped in, and it's also aiming right towards that cylinder, so I think it's spot on. Time to get the cap on and get it bolted down. Alright, got the new distributor bolted down, and it's still pointing fairly close to this hole right here, so that should be good enough to get it running, and then I can use a timing light to get it better. Now I'm going to figure out how to mount that coil, and then it's time for wiring. Alright, coil mounts up like it's supposed to. That hole in the head's not threaded, but it seems to be solid enough. I don't think I need it. And then time for wiring. The first step is pretty easy. So it comes with this ready to go wiring harness, so I can plug that in there. And then this goes up here, and I'm not sure which side it plugs into. Will it plug into both? Let's find out. Doesn't like that side. Likes that side just fine. So that must go there. All right. Now, I have this wire, and it goes on here. Ugh. Somehow I got to figure out how these two wires hook up to the wires on the old coil. Put some plugs in it, some plug wires, and it should run. And then I can do fine timing with the timing adapter. You plug that in there and hook this up to 12 volts, and then you can do static timing and then take it back off and it goes back to dynamics. So I think I'm to that point where I need to start reading some directions. All right, so what I've gathered from reading the directions is that this red wire just needs positive 12 volts ignition on and starting, and this white wire is the tach signal. So I should be able to get it running by just getting 12 volts to this one, and both of these wires were hooked up to the positive 12 volt of the old coil, so I'm assuming that that should be enough to get it to start. So let's see what happens. Well, I'd call that confirmation. In fact, that started ridiculously easy. So now I just gotta get it permanently wired in. All right, got her wired in permanently. Figured out which two wires these go to and taped off the other ones. And using the just alignment pointing to that hole, actually got my timing on within like a degree or two. So timing it was super easy. And she starts right up and she runs just fantastically better. So I'll demo that for you. All right, here we go. No more points, but electronic ignition. I think that starts pretty good. Get it in gear and it seems to really like that extra timing it gets from the dynamic timing. So I can't wait to get this thing out now. I'm happy with that. So as a parting note, I did a wet compression test after getting it to run, and looks like there's probably some sticking valves. Didn't really increase much doing it wet. So I'm gonna stick a can of Restore in it and send it for the summer because it seems to be running just fine. Now I wanna go boating, and I'll just plan on rebuilding it in the winter time when I can't use the boat. So have a good one, y'all. See you in the next one.